Okay, I'm the trustee in Cottrellville Township, and as many of you may have known, there's a lot of problems going on in Cottrellville right now. There was a court case today that was very important. The law firm that I hired released a press release today, so I wanted to read that so that people could know what's going on. It's titled, Cottrellville Township's Squashing Public Participation Ruled Illegal. The St. Clair County Circuit Court ruled today that the actions of Cottrellville Township and its supervisor, Kelly Ann Lisco, violated the Michigan Open Meetings Act numerous times and left open the question of whether she is personally liable for such actions. At the nearly 1 hour hearing, the attorney for the township and attorney for the plaintiffs argued whether Lisco's actions of cutting short the presentations of trustee Michael Zoran and 2 local residents, Kyle Sunday and Austin Adams, during the public comments portion of the township's May 8, 2013 board meeting violates one of Michigan's sunshine laws. After arguments, Judge Michael West ruled in favor of Zoran, Sunday, and Adams, finding that Lisco, on behalf of the township, improperly ended their public addresses to the township board in violation of township policy and, by extension, the Open Meetings Act. The court also awarded Zoran, Sunday, and Adams their attorney fees and costs in amount to be determined. The Open Meetings Act is a law designed to give political access to local political leaders and decision makers, states Philip L. Ellison of Outside Legal Counsel, attorney for Zoran, Sunday, and Adams. Ending public comments early chills public participation with the very public officials who are elected to serve their communities. At the May 2013 board meeting, Lisco interrupted and cut short public statements by Zoran, Sunday, and Adams after the topic turned to Lisco's then pending criminal charges in the St. Clair County District Court. Lisco ended public comments of certain individuals, citing Adams for failing to publicly address his home address. Sunday's public comment was ended after speaking about Lisco's then upcoming court date and his support for Zoran. In addition, Lisco has also prematurely ended Zoran's public comments about alleged problems with certain purchasing decisions and notices. In addition to ruling in favor of Zoran, Sunday, and Adams, the circuit court also permitted the attorneys additional time to determine whether Lisco herself is personally liable under the Open Meetings Act, as well as whether she is improperly holding the office of supervisor after allegedly moving out of Cottrellville Township in early 2013. The circuit court has scheduled a court conference on December 11th to set deadlines for the remainder of the case. Now that's really important because this problem in Cottrellville Township has not just existed for the current supervisor. This May meeting wasn't the only one. It started in April when actually the other trustee, Mr. Ken Chartier, just cut me off at 2 minutes 16 seconds rather than 3 minutes, and the other board members all vote, he says motion to adjourn, and they don't even bother to have board comments. I mean, that's something that I've never seen at any other meeting. Each month afterwards has had similar type of just terrible things. They don't even let my camera be put up like that, and if you wanted to record like from right here, you wouldn't be able to do that in Cottrellville. They've made illegal policies that say you can't do that. They take away your First Amendment rights. For example, it says if you want to record a meeting, this one is really funny. It says you're not allowed to conduct an interview during a meeting. Okay, that one's fine. But it also says you're not allowed to publicly record before or after a meeting. That means you can never conduct an interview in Cottrellville, ever. So your First Amendment right to freedom of the press is completely taken away. Plus, in the public participation policy that was voted on, it talks about how you can be cut off for anything if the supervisor believes it's not appropriate. That completely violates your freedom of speech. And I'm glad because in the court case today, We won on 5 counts. We won on the 3 counts that each of us had our time cut short, but we also had our situation where the judge said you're not allowed to demand that a person, or that the supervisor requests that you give your name and address. He said there's many reasons why you might not want to give your name or address. And also with the other situation with the content, because Mr. Sunday was told to sit down simply because of the fact that he wanted to know about the upcoming court case of whether or not the supervisor even lived in the township. He was told to sit down for that very reason. The judge said, no, you can talk about whatever you want for 3 minutes. Now Shane, and you know, he's not home tonight, or excuse me, I wasn't able to talk to him yet. Mike, I hope I get his name right, Michael Ajak. I don't see him here tonight either, but he's someone who's helped me a lot over the last 2 years. And it happens all over the place, far too often, where you get supervisors, and it's been that way in Cottrellville too, with the previous staff. You're just cut short, they don't like what you have to say, so you're told to go sit down. Mr. Philip L. Ellison, my attorney, he's done such a fantastic job. He specializes in this area of law. If you have any problem, I highly recommend that you hire him.
I don't want to cut you short, but
sure,
can you send us a summary of the court case?
Yes, that was going to be, yep, I have it right here.
And if people have questions on this, how do you want to, I mean, do people talk to you, or do you want to talk to Mr. Ellison, or how do you want to handle that?
Yes, that right there is the phone number and address in case, you know, it gives an email address and stuff. Yep.
That's your attorney's phone number?
Yes.
Okay. We'll publish in the minutes the summary, the attorney's phone number, so if people do have questions on this, you can contact him and talk to him more about it. And Mike's always here too, so if you want to speak to Mike more about it, feel free to after the meetings.
Yep. Thank you very much.
I'd like to ask one quick question.
Sure.
Is it true that for the first time in the history of Cottrellville Township, the Republican supervisor appointed a assistant supervisor?
Yes.
And what party is the assistant supervisor a member of?
Okay, I don't know if
In
you
a
guys...
word, what party is the...
Democrat.
Okay.
In fact, it gets even worse. I feel bad for Shane because he called me as soon as he heard about this, and I knew then what an excellent leader Shane was. He says, you know, Mike, I've gotten word that Cottrellville Township has, for the first time ever, hired a deputy supervisor for this optional position. I said, yes, it's true. And I said, yes, the rumors that you're hearing are true. It's a paid position. It's not coming out of the supervisor's salary. It's now being paid by the taxpayers. And what's worse, it's not just any Democrat. It is the Democrat that ran against her.
So I have a question. Now, this is the same person, though, that you brought before this body to ask us to endorse?
Yes, and that was a huge mistake. I have never, ever made any bigger mistake than asking people in Cottrellville Township to vote for Supervisor Kelly Lisco, who was then Kelly Faselli, and the clerk, Lori Russellberg. They ended up being absolutely opposites. In fact, that should have been expected by Lori Russellberg because 4 years ago, she ran as a Democrat. So it's no surprise to see backstabbing and stuff, I guess, in that type of environment. It's just unfortunate that people don't keep their words. Well, thank you.